Welcome back. Well, we have an interesting story today. The governing body or its members. Now, this guy here, I don't know his name. We're going to look at him, pull him up on the big screen. He was at the convention, the 2024 convention. We have a 30-second clip from him. And it was sent to us thanks to Fade to X Adam. Thank you very much, Fade to X Adam. We follow you, and you're doing a great job getting these clips out to us. So we're going to take a look at this clip. Here he is. Kind of looks, he doesn't look like me. I think, here, I'm a way better looking, right? If this guy grew a beard, he'd look a lot better. He kind of looks like the Jeffrey Winder kind of guy. A couple of these guys lately, there's another guy I'm going to do another video on. He looks, not this guy, but they all look the same. I can understand when people say all those white guys, they just all look the same. Okay. Well, here, we're going to play his clip. Now, through this clip, I should go back and see what Adam said. Fadetex Adam, he said, they're boasting they provide physical support at the 2024 convention when the reality is they told members not to donate for the Brazilian disaster. So we're going to take a look at all of this. You see, you can't get nothing over on the apostates. Everything hidden will be revealed. That's what the Bible says. And the Bible didn't say it would be the apostates or whatever. It just said everything hidden will be revealed. So the apostates of this particular religion, they seem to hide things or lie about things. Now, I'm going to let you guys be the judge. We're going to just go through all the information, and then at the end, we're going to talk about it, and you tell me if you think they lied. Am I over-exaggerating? Okay, so listen here. We're going to play it for you.
So why don't we fear bad news? Because instead of focusing on the problems in this system of things, Jehovah's Witnesses focus on helping others. When in material need, especially in the wake of disasters, Jehovah's Witnesses come to the aid of their fellow believers and others in their community and give them physical support and emotional support. So why don't we fear bad news?
Okay, so did you get that? Why do Jehovah's Witnesses not fear bad news? Why do they not fear bad news? Well, number one, in their minds, they are fearing. Every time the governing body gets up and talks about bad news and the end is coming and pack your to-go bags, and like we showed in our last video, the sign's coming down and there's a padlock on the door. They're playing that in their opening music video. And then everyone's scrambling to meet at these old book study groups they used to use. Reintroducing that. Is that not fear? Well, I was in it for 30 years. This is all fear. It all works at our minds. It's fear. Even though they're saying you don't have to fear. So now, he talked about disasters and stuff like that. Everyone's in there to help. Everyone's doing their part. This is crucial to this. And then he said, what did he say? What does the Watchtower do? Let's listen to that.
Instead of focusing on the problems in this system of things, Jehovah's Witnesses focus on helping others. When in material need, especially in the wake of disasters, Jehovah's Witnesses come to the aid of their fellow believers and others in their community and give them physical support and emotional support. So why don't we fear?
Okay, so does that happen? Do Jehovah's Witnesses do that? That's what we're going to examine here. And we're going to take this one step further. Okay, so now this is a Brazilian newspaper. They're journalists. And Jehovah's Witnesses, by the way, are suing newspapers. They're suing the Spain newspaper because in Spain they publicized that they're a dangerous sect. So they're suing the newspaper. So it's funny, Jehovah's Witnesses want the freedom of speech to say that all the people out there are evil, wicked, and all of this stuff, and they'll talk about it. But yet, if you say anything about them, they're going to sue you. Well, here's what this Brazilian newspaper is saying. It's headlining this. It says, Jehovah's Witnesses asks believers to avoid donating to the victims in Rio Grande do Sul. Religious people fear financial scams and fake news. So there's a picture of it. This is a drone shot of all the houses that are destroyed May 20th. This picture was taken a week ago. Now, what we know this happened earlier because Watchtower sent a letter, and we're going to read the letter they sent to the congregation regarding this. But let's read the newspaper first. Here's what the newspaper says. The leadership of Jehovah's Witnesses in Brazil has asked its faithful to avoid making donations directly to flood victims in Rio Grande do Sul. That's kind of contrary to what was said in that talk, right? They said that their people help people. Well, here the leadership is asked not to make donations. Instead, they recommend that the contributions be made via the Kingdom Hall. So you see, the governing body wants all the money coming to them, and then they'll decide where the money is going to go. They'll fix a few Kingdom Halls up, fix a few brothers' houses, and hand out a few bottles of water. Now, because they've been called out here in Brazil, they might have to do a little bit more. Let's see what the newspaper article says. It says, the document advises, if your congregation has not yet been invited to help, we ask that you do not make personal arrangements to send donations. We're going to read that document. And it is also discouraged for believers to start or participating in virtual fundraisers because the intention may be good, but you never know who is behind it and whether the amounts raised will actually be sent. This is what Watchtower is saying. Only the congregation of Santa Catarina and Rio Grande do Sul were called upon to help send donations. The document mentions that approximately 2,000 faithful affected by the floods are already receiving assistance. Furthermore, it's recommended that the believers only accept help from federal government programs. So there you go. Watchtower doesn't want to do humanitarian work. They're directing everyone to go take advantage of the government programs. Is this not an insult? They're not only telling their members not to donate to help people, donate to us, they're saying, and then we'll work through those two congregations. They'll do a per person, per capita figure out, and they'll help minimal. We all know that. I've been in it for 30 years. I've heard this many times over where Watchtower says, do not help local causes, do not help fund me's, put all your donations in our box and we'll see that it's used for the worldwide work. Nothing goes to helping these people. Nothing. And now that Watchtower is advocating this, I'm glad that they're finally being called out by a journalist. Now, Jehovah's Witnesses consider themselves careful in the use of donations to avoid duplications of efforts, confusion and waste of money and materials common situations when brothers act on their own. When consulted, the Public Information Department, the DIP of Jehovah's Witnesses, reported that at the beginning of the floods, several media outlets warned about financial scams and fake news related to aid to refugees. See, anytime there's money going out the door to help someone else, Watchtower tells its members, don't do that, give it all to us. Nothing goes to help those people. Now, in this context, our objective is to, this is what Watchtower is saying, our objective is to alert and guide those who wish to offer humanitarian aid in an organized manner, explained the institution. Naturally, each Jehovah's Witness has the freedom to decide whether and how to support humanitarian aid campaigns, regardless of how they are carried out. See, Watchtower wants to be exonerated. They want to take your money, and when it comes to, are you really helping out? Did you really use that money down there? They want to use it how they feel they want to carry it out. But here they're being called out. So now, you tell me, did they just lie at the 2024 district convention? I would say they have. I'd say they have. They've certainly twisted the truth. Let's look at their letter. Now, I have this in Spanish, and I can't read Spanish, so here's the English conversion. Now, this is an announcement that Watchtower made May 10th in those areas, Brazil, 2024. 4 congregations. Humanitarian aid to brothers in Rio Grande do Sul. We know that you are following with great concern the situation of our brothers in Rio Grande do Sul. And with the help of Jehovah and the loving brothers who are working hard in humanitarian aid, they are surrounded of 2,000 brothers affected by this tragedy are receiving the necessary care. So you see, folks, there's 2,000 brothers needing help. There's probably some brothers and sisters who want to do some fund-mes and help some families out. Watchtower said no. So it says, for now, only congregations in the state of Santa Catarina have been invited to participate in sending donations. So now they're saying, you know what, the worldwide work doesn't. Canada, if we wanted to donate, no. Only this area is invited to send donations in. So they'll look at the donation boxes in that area. That's all they're going to send. They're going to send squat. That's what they're saying. They don't have the money. And they're using your donation money to fight CSA all over the earth, fighting lawsuits steady. So that's off topic, but back on topic. Back into the letter. They're only allowing congregations in the state of Santa Catarina to have been invited to participate. That's BS, folks. But that's what their letter says. Therefore, if your congregation has not yet been invited, we ask that you do not make, I repeat, you do not make personal arrangements to send donations. So it's not free. Jehovah's Witnesses are not allowed the freedom to make donations where they want. Watchtower is ordering them around. You see, they take these letters as being from God, the people. You and I on the outside, of course, we know it's a marketing scam. And the journalists caught on to it. And they're exposing Watchtower because everything that is hidden will be revealed. We all know that. So furthermore, it says, the Watchtower is saying, to its people, we ask that you do not take the initiative to create or participate in virtual crowdfunding to help the brothers of Rio Grande do Sul. So all you brothers in Rio Grande do Sul, Watchtower said not to help you. Right here in the letter. Here, I'll get off the screen. You guys can read it. And blow it up. Oh. Okay, so where are we at? It says, the intention may be good, but you never know who is behind it and whether the amounts raised will actually be sent. That's what Watchtower is saying to the people. It's vice versa. Watchtower, you'll never know if the money, you send the money to the Watchtower, you're never knowing if it's going to be sent to the right people. That's the truth of it. But they're saying that about the crowdfunding that you're doing. So they go on to say, therefore, we strongly discourage this type of arrangement. On the other hand, if anyone wishes to make a donation to Bethel, so to Watchtower, to Bethel, what are they saying? To help brothers in the affected region. So they're not worried about humanitarian aid, folks. That's a farce. That is a false statement, humanitarian aid. Because humanitarian aid goes to everyone. Everyone. You pool in, you help everyone. Here's what Watchtower does. They should be canceled as a charity for even claiming this. But they're saying, on the other hand, if anyone wishes to make a donation to Bethel to help the brothers in the affected region, use the website donatejw.org or the PIX key number. They even have the number here, a key. Don't write that down. Don't use it. Now, number 2, if someone wants to personally participate in humanitarian relief, they can make themselves available by filling out the petition to do more in Jehovah's service. And if they do not have a valid petition, volunteers will be invited as needed via the builder the builder's whatever assistant website. So you can't just go and help people in your community. You can't love your neighbor. I thought Jesus says, love your neighbor, help those beside you, the neighbors, people that you know, people that watch your kids every day on the street for you because you had to go to work, or maybe it's across the street. These are your neighbors, folks. We should be able to help our neighbors. Jesus says, love your neighbors. He didn't say go through the watchtower to help your neighbors. You see, this is not scriptural. There's nothing here that's scriptural. So they're saying even if you want to participate, you have to go through Bethel. You have to fill out a form. Yeah, so number 3, we sincerely thank you for your voluntary donations. Of course they do, because you're going to send it all to Bethel, to them. And your willing spirit, your gullibleness, that's what they're really saying. Thank you for the donations and you being gullible, and your fervent prayers in favor of the affected brothers in Rio Grande do Sul. Surely Jehovah God is pleased with these sacrifices. Well, I know Jesus God is not. Jesus wouldn't do this. I don't know about Jehovah, though. I can't speak for him. Only they can. That's their name. Okay, folks. Well, I've been behind the screen here talking. You guys been reading. It's sad. It's sad. They're going, well, okay, wait a minute here. I'm going to let you decide. Did they lie? Did they lie about this? Let's look at this one more time. It's only 32 seconds. Did they lie? Here it is. Let's see what he says.
So why don't we fear bad news? Because instead of focusing on the problems in this system of things, Jehovah's Witnesses focus on helping others. When in material need, especially in the wake of disasters, Jehovah's Witnesses come to the aid of their fellow believers and others in their community and give them physical support and emotional support. So why don't we fear bad news?
So you notice he said others in the community? And we just read this letter in their own handwriting to their congregation. They don't help others. Furthermore, we ask that you do not take the initiative to create or participate in virtual crowdfunding. We strongly discourage it. And on the other hand, if anyone wishes to make a donation, it goes to Bethel in that affected region. And if you want to help, you gotta fill out a form. You gotta work through Bethel. So yeah, they want your donations, and they even go on to say they only use the donations for the brothers. Remember that? Where is that? Okay, it's right here at the bottom. If anyone wishes to make a donation to Bethel to help the brothers in the affected region, use the website donation. Well, what if you want to help all kinds of people, your neighbors? You see, you can't. Even though the public talk that they gave at the district assembly said that they're helping all kinds of people. They're helping not just the brothers, but other people. It's not true. Not according to this letter. You send your money to Bethel. You can't get involved. You can't help out. So, folks, you tell me if that talk stinks. Is it smelly? Is there twists and turns in that talk? Is that talk straightforward the way he says it? I'll let you guys be the decision. But here's what I can tell you that they say about themselves.
And what table can we trust? The table surrounded by our future kings, the governing body. Future kings, the governing body. By our future kings, the governing body. Our governing body. They never lie. or deceive us. They never lie or deceive us. We can have absolute trust in the governing body. We can have absolute trust in the governing body. They meet all the criteria that Jesus gave us to identify them by.